No matter the platform you're watching on, it is so wonderful to be able to talk sports with you guys. I hope you guys know how grateful we are for your support. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe no matter which platform you're watching on. Make sure you're a member of this amazing community of sports fans. I know I've been away a little bit. Let's get back to work, everybody. We've got some work to do as we're going to give out picks for today's game. We're going to do our research. Already a couple baseball games that have already gone to final. So already a couple of things that we could have bet on. Hopefully you guys got in on the action early. We are going to, like I said, do our research for the NBA, NHL, MLB throughout the course of the next hour or so. Additionally, we are also going to play some rival fantasy challenges. If any of you guys want to get in on the rival fantasy challenges, hit me up right now. Butt Fumble Sports is doing rival fantasy challenges, so make sure you get in on that. Definitely something that you'll want to play along with. And again, for those that are new to that, that allows me to compete against you. We both pick a player we think is going to do well today, or we can do a best ball challenge. That's where you draft a lineup against one another for each day. So again, if any of you guys want to do a rival fantasy best ball challenge or just a rival fantasy challenge overall, DM me on Instagram right now, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram, and we can get that going. In the NBA tonight, a couple of the games that we're going to look at: Grizzlies and Cavaliers, Hornets and Hawks, Raptors and Nets, Mavericks at Heat, Spurs at Thunder, Magic at Bucks, Timberwolves at Nuggets, and finally the Suns at the Clippers. Boss, let's get it. Hope you're doing well, buddy. 15 days. I'm ready. Hope you're doing well, boss. If any of you guys have questions, make sure you throw them in the comment section. That's what we're going to be focusing on. So if you're watching over on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, or on TikTok, feel free to write in your question. We're going to do research for you guys. We'll focus on what you guys care about most. Appreciate you guys joining us across all of these platforms. So if there's a game that you want us to focus on, let's give it a look. Pushing DK, having some fun with us. Brett is asking about Dame on points. Let's jump on over and let's take a look at that player prop bet. Again, for those that are just new to the show, we like to research sports bets, fantasy sports. We like to compete against one another throughout the course of the show. So make sure you're throwing your questions, your comments, or you're hitting us up if you want to compete against us. Taking a look at Dame Lillard's point total right now. Just quickly, injuries. Giannis is out for today's game, obviously suffering that injury last night. Hopefully it's not too serious. Let's take a look at how Dame has done when Giannis hasn't been in the lineup. Very good on his point total. He's gone over 27.5 points in 8 of his last 10 games without Giannis. In fact, this year, Dame has gone over 27.5 points in 15 of his last 20 games without Giannis on the floor. 4 straight games, 6 of his last 7. Brett, I like Dame Lillard to go over 27.5 points tonight. I'll put it up on the big board. Damian Lillard over 27.5 points. No Giannis, but they still need a lot from Dame, so I do expect him to have a big game. Really quick, just to show you the matchup. Is a decent matchup, actually. Orlando's the 14th ranked defense against point guards when it comes to scoring, so we do like Dame Lillard on his point total. Kyle Klein's really liking the Magic tonight. Let's take a look at that game right now. We just talked about the Bucks and the Magic in terms of a player prop, but let's take a look at that game overall. As of right now, 88% of the tickets are on the Magic to win. 63% of the tickets are on the Magic to cover the spread. The Magic are actually a 1.5 point favorite for this game. Bit of a surprise there. Let's take a look at how the Bucks have done when they've been a home dog throughout the entire season. It's only happened 3 times. They've gone 2-1 overall, but it's a very, very rare occurrence. Let's take a look at how the Bucks have been as an away favorite so far this year. Over the course of the season, when the Magic have been an away favorite, they've gone 9-3 straight up, but they've lost their last 2 overall, so an interesting one there. Appreciate you guys joining the show. Make sure you hit us up if you've got a question, here to help you guys out. Brett likes Magic on the money line. You do fantasy baseball? Yes, we do. If you guys either want help with your fantasy baseball research or you want to compete against us in a rival fantasy best ball game or challenge, let us know. What's rival fantasy best ball? It's where we can literally draft against one another and create teams just for today, and the winner obviously goes away with some cash. So DM me on Instagram if any of you guys want to participate in a rival fantasy baseball best ball challenge. Hit me up. ME Raptors over 221.5. Let's take a quick look at that one. Raptors are playing the Nets. Right now the over is getting some love when it comes to the public betting on it. Let's take a quick look at it. Raptors as an away dog, and I'm going to specifically look when they play an opponent that has an average winning percentage that's less than 500. How does it come down? So it hasn't, the over-under, not a great kind of representation here, not getting great data. Let's take a look at how the Nets have done. Nets as a home favorite against an opponent with a sub 500 record. The over's gone 7-5. Let's drill on that a little bit more. Raptors have been abysmal. They have a sub 400 winning percentage. The over's gone 6-3 in that scenario. So I lean slightly towards the over. However, here's the issue. Yeah, I like the over. ME, I do like the over in this game. Over for Raptors Nets. If you could get it at 218, I'd like it a lot more, but I do like it. Brett, big game tonight on Nuggets Timberwolves for the #1 seed. What spread do you like for this game? As of right now, that massive game in the Western Conference between the top 2 seeds, Timberwolves and Nuggets. Nuggets are a 6.5-point favorite. Right now, the public is very heavy on the Nuggets to cover the spread. 98% of the money is on the Nuggets to cover the spread, and I lean that direction as well. It opened at 5.5. It's since moved up to 6. In terms of the injury report, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is a game-time decision. Aaron Gordon, game-time decision. Nikola Jokic, game-time decision. And Jamal Murray, a game-time decision. So a lot of the Nuggets stars are questionable for this game. Does that make me a little bit concerned, but not overly concerned. I really like the Nuggets to win. Let's dive into some of the trends for this one, though. When the Nuggets have played a team with an above 500 record, actually, let's look at the Timberwolves first. When the Timberwolves have been on the road as an underdog against an opponent with a massive winning percentage, they've gone 6-4 straight up. 7-3 against the spread. The Timberwolves has actually done a good job of covering the spread in this scenario. I'm just playing around with some of our figures here. So, the Timberwolves, when they have gone up against an opponent with an above 650 win percentage, they've covered the spread in 5 straight games. They've won 4 straight games. Let's take a look at it from the other side now. How have the Nuggets done as a home favorite when they faced an opponent with that level of win percentage? Nuggets have been a terrible cover. So the Nuggets have gone 5-3 straight up, but only 3-5 against the spread. The under has been a phenomenal play under these circumstances. So how would I bet this game tonight right now? I would take the Nuggets on the money line. I do think the Nuggets win. I would take the Timberwolves to cover. Right now, based on the data that we're seeing, the kind of margin of difference, I would take it at 8.5. This is from the other one. What's the total for this game? Really quick, when the Nuggets have had a spread, a line of between, let's say, 5 and a line between 7. And a home favorite. Oh, it's supposed to be minus. Changes that. Changes that. Sorry, I'm just doing some work here. Just looking at this Nuggets Timberwolves game to see if there's a good play on it. The under continues to come up as a good play. So this is what I would do for this game. I would take the Nuggets on the money line. I would take the Timberwolves at plus 8.5. and I would take Timberwolves and Nuggets, and I would lean towards the under in this game. Timberwolves and Nuggets going towards the under. Just really quick, the public right now, 59% of the tickets are on the over. I like the under. It's at 211.5. Don't love that spot. But the under's been a very strong play under these circumstances. Really quick, I just want to check one thing. Right now, I would take the under at like 214.5. Right now, it's at 211.5, but 214.5 is where I would take it. I just want to see one other thing. When the Nuggets have had a total of less than or equal to 212, how have they performed? They've gone 2-1 straight up, 1-2 against the spread. The overs hit 2 out of the 3 times. How about on the other side? Timberwolves, when they've had a total under 212, they've gone 4-1 straight up, 2-3 against the spread. The over's gone 3-2. I kind of stand by what I like here. I'm going to go with that. So my picks for that Nuggets-Timberwolves game, based on the trends and the data that we just looked at, Nuggets on the money line, Timberwolves plus 8.5, and I'm taking the under 214.5. El Pinche is asking about some hockey. Canucks are starting their third string goalie, but he is 3-0. Very, very interesting on that one. So El Pinche asking about a hockey play. Let's jump on over and let's look at Canucks and Coyotes. Canucks and Coyotes. What's interesting about that game, obviously, is the Canucks. You would expect them to be a heavy favorite in this one, but starting that backup, how is that going to play? So far, the money coming down on the Canucks. Not surprised by that. Unfortunately, the data isn't really going to support this game overall. We could take a quick look at it, but given that it's a third string goaltender, you don't really want to take too much from this. The only thing I do want to kind of look at is the Coyotes. How have they been performing as an away underdog over the last few weeks? Obviously, an away underdog most of the season. They've actually done a good job of kind of climbing out of the bottom of the barrel. 33, 40, and 5 could be a lot worse for them. Over the last few weeks, they've actually done a decent job. They've gone 3-3 against straight up over the last 6 games as an away underdog. When the line has been greater than or equal to 200, which it is tonight, they've gone 0-4 straight up, and the over has gone 4-0. So I'm going to follow the trends on this one. I'll take the Canucks on the money line. And I'll take Coyotes and Canucks. I'll take the over 5.5 goals. Right now, the total is set at 6.5. If you can get it at the 5.5, that's what I would go for. But I do like the over in this game. Over 5.5 is at -155. That's what I would take. So shout out to El Pinche watching over on YouTube. Appreciate the question. If you've got a question, feel free to fire away and throw it in here. Let's go over to Brett. Jokic under 28.5 points. Let's take a look at it, everybody. Jokic on his point total. We're jumping over to a player prop bet. Appreciate you guys being with us. We're doing our research here. If any of you guys want my picks every single day for free, just DM me on Instagram. I haven't been posting my picks of late because, frankly, I've been on a bit of a losing streak. The trends really did not come through in March Madness. A lot of the favorites hit, so a lot of those spreads didn't hit. And I've actually just kind of been holding off. So it tells you sometimes I'm willing to do the research, but I don't want you guys tailing me when I don't feel good about my picks. Let's take a look at Jokic on points total tonight. Nikola Jokic, his point total set at 24.5. You're seeing it at 28.5. So let's go based off of that. 28.5. It opened at 28.5, came down to 26.5, and has worked its way back up to 28.5. Again, we talked a little bit earlier. A lot of players for the Nuggets are questionable tonight. Gordon, KCP, Jamal Murray, and Jokic himself. So you may want to wait to place any bets on the Nuggets until you know the injury report and who's actually going to be on the floor. But if we look at the matchup for tonight's game for Nikola Jokic, he doesn't have a great matchup when it comes to points. The Timberwolves, are the 9th best defense when it comes to opposing centers scoring. Not surprised by that, given that Rudy Gobert's on the other side. Now, let's take a look at head-to-head. How is Nikola Jokic done against the Minnesota Timberwolves? In the last 11 games they've played, he's only gone over 28.5 points 4 times. However, twice in a row he's hit that. The last 2 games they've played, he's gone over that point total. Those both happened this year, both in the month of March. So he has been on a bit of a hot streak there. Now, if Jamal Murray doesn't play in this game, how has Nikola Jokic done against the Timberwolves with no Jamal Murray? He went over his point total on March 29th without Jamal Murray, so something to consider there. In home games against the Minnesota Timberwolves, he has gone over 28.5 points 2 out of 6 times. The other times were at 20, 13, 27, and 28 points collectively. Now, if we just look at overall how has Jokic done in his last 10 home games, he has gone over 28.5 points in 6 of his last 10 home games, but only 2 of his last 5. Been a bit of a streaky play there. Again, he's got a tough matchup tonight going up against Rudy Gobert. If I had to go in any direction for this one, I'd probably lean just slightly towards the under. Again, Brett, make sure you know who's going to be playing in this game. The injury report's going to dictate everything when it comes to Nikola Jokic. But if Nikola Jokic doesn't have star power around him, maybe that influences things. But as of right now, I would take the under. Frankly, do I love it at the 28.5? No, I'd love to get it at under 30.5. Do I think he gets to 30 points? I really don't. So I'd feel safer about that. Maybe you want to do a same game parlay. Jokic under 30.5 points. Maybe parlay that with Nuggets on the money line. Something to consider. Or under on the point total. We just spoke about how we like the under for the Nuggets and the Timberwolves game, at least based on the trends. So maybe you want to parlay those together, just a 2-leg parlay. Thanks for the question. You like Gunnar Henderson or C.J. Abrams at utility tonight? Really quick, I'm going to throw up my picks so you guys can see it. I'm going to go over to my cheat sheet. We're going to take a quick look right now at what we think of C.J. Abrams and Gunnar Henderson. C.J. Abrams, I don't love him to... really quick, Dot. Are you doing it DraftKings or are you doing it FanDuel? Is there a certain fantasy baseball platform that you're using? We can look up fantasy baseball research for you, but I want to make sure I know which one you're looking at. ME, live bet the Blue Jays. A little birdie told me. Okay, ME, we're listening to you. By the way, Jackson Holliday, the #1 prospect in all of baseball, has been called up to the majors. He makes his debut tonight for the Baltimore Orioles at Fenway Park against the Red Sox. He is batting 9th. And yes, I have already put as one of my favorite bets of the day, I'm taking Jackson Holliday. Remember, that's with 2 L's, over half a hit, and I am putting it into some parlays. I think right now over half a hit is at like -210, -215, so you're going to have to parlay it with something to get even odds, but I do think Jackson Holliday is going to get a hit tonight in his MLB debut. Just an ESPN. Okay, so C.J. Abrams, I expect to get around maybe 8-9 fantasy points tonight. I think he gets a hit. I think he could get a stolen base as well. Taking a quick look at Gunnar Henderson, seeing if he's a better play this evening. I would say yes, I'd prefer Gunnar Henderson. I prefer Gunnar Henderson to have a better game. I think he's got a greater chance of not just getting a hit, but getting extra bases. I actually could see Gunnar Henderson going over 1.5 total bases tonight. A double, triple has a good probability of happening. So I actually do like Gunnar Henderson more for tonight's fantasy battle. Devin, great to have you with us. Today is your birthday, kinfolk. Some over-under picks. For what sport? Which sport are we talking about? Emmy, appreciate you hitting that follow button. Wonderful having you guys with us. If you guys have questions across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, let us know. El Pinche, Trae Young is back. Do you think he's going to have a minute he's going to have limited minutes. I actually think he might, at least early on. I know it's a hand injury, so it actually shouldn't impact him too much, but I wouldn't be surprised from a conditioning standpoint that they want to get him a bit ready for the playoffs, so I don't think they'll gas him too much. Chase Green, do you like the Yankees over the Miami Marlins tonight? I think they'll sweep Miami. I tend to agree. I think the Yankees are a very strong pick. Now, that said, I also understand that the Marlins are such a bad team that at this point, the odds on them aren't getting to a good, teams playing against them, the odds aren't great. I believe the Yankees are going off at about minus 210, minus 215. But the answer is yes, I really do like the Yankees on the money line tonight. We'll put that one up on the big board. Yankees on the money line, definitely a game that I like. Devin Ford asking about some over-unders for today's NBA and NHL games. We'll take a quick look at how the money's coming down right now, seeing if there's anything interesting about that. Grizzlies and Cavaliers, the under is getting a bit more action. Hornets and Hawks, the over is getting more action. Raptors and Nuggets, the over is getting a majority of the tickets. Mavericks and the Miami Heat, the under, slightly more tickets on the under, 53% on the under. Spurs and Thunder, interesting, the over is getting more tickets. The under, though, has made a strong push with the money. So Spurs, Thunder, you might want to take a look at the under for that game. Magic and Bucks, the under is getting a bit more love from the tickets. Timberwolves and Nuggets, the over is getting more tickets, but we talked about how the under might be a better trend. And the Suns and the Clippers, looks like the under is getting a bit more action on that one. Now, maybe you want to call out a specific game, Devin, to let us know what you want us to look at. Give me a specific game you want us to dive into. Jay Hostel, what do we think of the White Sox and the Cleveland Indians? I love sorry, it's not the Cleveland Indians anymore. That's a slip by me. I like the Guardians a lot today. I am taking the Guardians on the money line. Tanner Bibee, who's their starting pitcher, he pitched incredibly well in his last outing. I expect him to duplicate that kind of performance. I'm expecting the Cleveland Guardians to get the win today. Take them on the money line. Can you go over all your picks so far? Yes, I can. This is based on the research we've done during the show, answering some of your questions. Dame Lillard, over 27.5 points. We also like the Nuggets on the money line, but the Timberwolves to cover at around 8.5 points. And we looked at the under for Timberwolves and Nuggets. We took under 214.5. We looked at a hockey game tonight. We like the Canucks on the money line. Coyotes and Canucks, we like over 5.5 goals. Jackson Holiday in baseball making his debut for the Orioles. I believe he's going to get a hit. No data to really back that up, just he's been incredibly hot down in the minors. He's facing a right-handed pitcher, and I do think he gets a hit tonight. And finally, for some baseball picks, Yankees money line, Guardians money line, those are both on the board. B, do you like the Rangers or the Red Sox on the money line tonight? I love the Rangers on the money line. Rangers on the money line feels like a very good play for me. They lost yesterday. Do I think the A's win 2 in a row against the Rangers? I do not. So Rangers on the money line feels like a great bet tonight. You can get them at minus 170. Feels like a phenomenal bet. I expect that to be around a 1-2 run difference, but overall, I do think the Rangers get that win. So we got Yankees money line, Guardians money line, Rangers money line. When it comes to the Red Sox, I could see the Red Sox. Thanks, Ranger. Appreciate the gift. Thanks so much for helping us hit our goal, Ranger. When it comes to the Red Sox, I could see the Red Sox covering plus 1.5. But right now, I just don't have enough confidence in them. So I'll to take the money line. I will take Red Sox plus 1.5. I think it's going to be a closer game. That's more about the fact that I don't love the starter for the Baltimore Orioles, Cole Irvin. Cutter Crawford might be the better pitcher, but I'll take Red Sox to cover the 1.5 run spread as opposed to take them as the favorite. Thanks so much, Ranger. I love it, B. Oh, people are looking for a no run in the first inning play. Is there a favorite no run in the first inning play? Let me quickly look. So the Cubs and the... Oh, here you go. I think the Cubs and the Padres. Cubs-Padres. I would go Cubs-Padres, no run in the first inning. I would also go Brewers and Reds, no run in the first inning. So 2 NRFI plays would be Cubs and Padres, Brewers and Reds. There's a part of me that also wants to take the Nationals and the Giants, so I'm kind of on the fence on that one as well. I'll throw that one up on the board as well. Nationals and Giants, no run in the first inning. So those are 3 no-run first inning plays that I like. Cubs, Padres, Brewers, Reds, Nationals, Giants, all no run in the first inning for those. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you're new to Butt Fumble Sports, we come on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick to give out sports betting research, talk about fantasy sports, rant about what's going on in the sports day. Make sure you guys hit us up. If any of you guys want to participate, I'm going to do a rival fantasy best ball league right now. So if any of you guys DM me on Instagram, I'm going to do a rival fantasy best ball. It's baseball. It's just going to be me against somebody else. The way it works, you do have to have an account on Rival Fantasy because you got to put up money. But I'm going to create a league. It's going to be me against whoever wants to join. And we literally just draft position by position. We go head to head. I'm going to make this a $3 league. So if any of you guys want to bet $3 against me, challenge me tonight. We go head to head, drafting players, going back and forth. If anybody's up for it, DM me right now. I'll share the link with you guys. All you have to do is DM me on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. DM me. I'll share the link with you, and we'll draft live on the air. You guys can see it right now. All set to go. Just need someone to join. Stumpy rules, DM me on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports. I'll hook you up with the link so you can get in on Rival Fantasy's Best Ball League tonight. Brett is asking about the Suns on the spread. Suns right now, 9.5 point favorite despite being on the road. Maybe there's got to be something to this. This opened actually with the Suns as an underdog. Sorry, is the Clippers as a 1 point underdog. Now they're a 9.5 point underdog. Why? Paul George is out. James Harden is out. Kawhi Leonard is out. So a lot of star power out for the Los Angeles Clippers. Because of that, I'm going to be very, very careful about how I bet this game. When it comes to the spread, I don't love it. I would take the Suns on the money line, but I don't love betting the spread with all of that star power out. Let's just take a quick look if there are any trends that really stand out. When the Suns have been an away favorite against a team with a winning percentage above 550, like they have tonight, the Suns have gone 2-2 straight up, 1-3 against the spread. The over is hit 3 straight times. Again, not, it's data, but it doesn't really support what we're seeing given the Clippers have so much star power out of their lineup. You may want to consider the over. That's the only thing that kind of has my attention is the over in this game. Suns, Clippers, over 222.5. Kind of interesting to look at that one. Right now, how is the money coming down on the total? The under is getting a bit more money. I'd be interested by it. One thing I actually kind of like for the Suns and the Clippers game is player prop bets. Russell Westbrook is going to play in this game. How is he done when Paul George, James Harden, and Kawhi Leonard are not in the lineup when it comes to points? He's gone over his point total in 4 of his last 5 games in that scenario. So if we look at points, Russell Westbrook's point total tonight right now is set at 18.5. He's gone over 18.5 points in 8 of his last 10 home games when he didn't have Paul George, James Harden, or Kawhi Leonard playing. I'll take Russell Westbrook. Put me up on the board for that one. Russell Westbrook over 18.5 points. May seem a little high, but given the trends behind this, no Paul George, no James Harden, no Kawhi Leonard, when all 3 of those players have sat in the last 10 games, Russell Westbrook under those circumstances has gone over 18.5 points 8 of the last 10 games. And actually, one of the 2 times he missed it, he hit 18 points. So if you really want to play it safe, take over 17.5 points. But I do like Russell Westbrook over his point total. Let's double down on this one. Let's go look at, is Terrence Mann up on the board? No, he's not. Zubac is the only other player I'm seeing for the Clippers who's on the board. When he doesn't have Paul George, James Harden, or Kawhi Leonard in the lineup? How is Zubac done? Hasn't gone over his point total that frequently, actually. How about on rebounds? When there's no Paul George, James Harden, or Kawhi Leonard, how is Zubac done on his rebounds? Nah, not good enough. So the only trend I'm seeing so far from a player prop bet standpoint that I really like in that one is Russell Westbrook. Chris Paul's healthy. Ranger, I love to see that. Chris Paul for the Golden State Warriors. Nice to know that he's coming back. Obviously not playing tonight, because the Warriors aren't playing tonight. Bam Adebayo on points and points and rebounds. Let's take a look at it, everybody. Points and rebounds for Bam Adebayo. Again, if anyone wants to get in on some fantasy baseball action tonight, DM me right now. We're going to do that draft as soon as we get a candidate in here. Bam Adebayo's points and rebounds is set at 28.5. In terms of a matchup, actually, kind of a so-so matchup. Dallas Mavericks are 12th in points allowed to centers, 15th in rebounds allowed to centers. Head-to-head against the Mavericks, he's gone over this total just once, and it was at 29. Over his last 20 games, it's been a very good trend. 13 of the last 20 in home games. Only 10 of his last 20. I'm not going to take this one. It opened at 29.5, came down to 28.5. I wouldn't take this one. I actually feel like Israel, this is a reason to kind of avoid this bet. Don't like it enough, so I'm going to stay away from it. Who wants to do some fantasy baseball with me? DM me on Instagram if you want to play against me in fantasy baseball tonight. A best ball league, it means just head-to-head. We draft a team. You don't have to reconfigure the lineup. You pick 2 outfielders, 2 infielders, a pitcher, and a DH. Whoever scores more points wins the prize. I put up $3. You put up $3. Whoever wins gets the money. DM me on Instagram right now if you want to compete in that Rival Fantasy Best Ball Challenge. So hit me up. The Best Ball League is ready to go as soon as you guys hit me up. So make sure you do today. Chase, what about Milwaukee tonight? I like Milwaukee tonight. It seems like whenever they're an underdog by 5 or less, they win. Let's take a look at how we're thinking about the Milwaukee Bucks. They got that big win last night. I thought the Bucks were going to win last night in part because I didn't think the Celtics were actually going to kind of commit the same level of attention. The Bucks are a 2-point underdog tonight against the Orlando Magic. As of right now, the public likes the Magic to win and cover the spread. But what about the trends? Let's take a look at it. Now, when the Mavericks have been an away favorite against a team with a winning percentage above 550 like the Bucks do, the Mavericks have been phenomenal. They've gone 5-1 straight up, 5-1 against the spread. Also, the under has gone 5-1. So, but that isn't for tonight, actually. Do the Bucks not have a winning? Wait a minute. Who's the favorite in this game? Oh, it's because I'm looking at it's the Magic. I was looking at the Mavericks, but it's the Magic. The Magic are playing the Bucks. Forgive me. So when the Magic are an away favorite, wow, they've never been under these conditions actually as an away favorite against a team with an above 500 winning percentage, above 550. Let's just take a look on the road. When they faced an opponent with a winning percentage above 550, they are 6-9 straight up. But they actually have won 4 of their last 5, and they've covered 4 of their last 5. Forgive me, I'm going to stretch my legs for a quick second. Now, the Magic are on 0 days of rest. Kind of want to see that. Ooh, my knees are cramping like a bitch. Do you guys ever sit down for an extended period of time and your knees just cramp? Super lame. Okay. When the Magic are on 0 days of rest and their opponent is on 0 days of rest as well. It's only happened once this year. The Magic lost. They covered the spread. When the Magic are on 0 days of rest and they're an away favorite, anything we can take from that? It's only happened once this year and they won. Interesting. When their opponent is on 0 days of rest. They won. Okay. Let's take a look at the Bucks. Bucks as a home dog against an opponent with an average winning percentage that's greater than 500. Bucks are 2-1. Covered the spread both times. This is an interesting one for me. I don't know where to come down on this. Personally, I'm kind of curious about taking the Bucks on the money line, but I'm not crazy about it. I'm going to avoid this game. I really don't know what the Bucks are going to be without Giannis tonight, coming on the second night of a back-to-back. I would avoid the game altogether. There's a part of it that kind of does have me curious about taking the Bucks, but I just don't feel confident in it enough, so I'm going to avoid this one. Yeah, I'm not going to touch this game. This one, just don't feel great about it. Someone's asking about Jimmy Butler on points. So if you guys are curious about that, we're going to jump on over to it. Again, best ball, rival fantasy baseball. Fantasy baseball. Anyone want to play some fantasy baseball tonight? Hit me up right now. DM me on Instagram if you want to play some fantasy baseball, everybody. Compete against me tonight. Let's look at Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, and we're going to look at his point total for this evening. Right now, his point total is set at 21.5. You're curious about the over or the under? Let me know. It opened at 23.5, has since worked its way down to 21.5. So some line movement on this one, working away from the over. In terms of points allowed by the Mavericks to small forwards, they're 15th in points allowed to small forwards. Head-to-head against the Dallas Mavericks, Butler's only gone over this total once. It did come in Miami. The last game he played against them in Miami. Man, this isn't a great trend. Jimmy Butler hasn't gone over 20.5 points in 6 straight home games. 8 of his last 20 games, he's gone over the total. I'm going to avoid this one. If I had to go in any direction, I actually might take the under. I might go under 20.5 points, under either 20.5 points or under either under 21.5 or under 22.5 points. So I'd take Jimmy Butler under 22.5 points. Just don't quite think he gets there. Any player prop bets on OKC and Spurs? Let's jump over to that really quick. See if there are any player prop bets that really stand out for that game. How do we go about that? We used one of our betting research tools, Outlier. We're going to look up points, rebounds, and assists, and we're going to look up that game specifically. We just want to see if there are any matchups from either side that are really advantageous. So for point guards, points is a good one. Man, shooting guard, points, rebounds, and assists have a good matchup for the Thunder, as does the center. Let's look at Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey has a really good matchup when it comes to points, when it comes to rebounds, and when it comes to assists. Very interesting. He has gone over 12.5 points. This is Josh Giddey, Mr. Underage. He's gone over 12.5 points in 8 of his last 10 games. Specifically at home, he's gone over this total in 5 of his last 7 games. Head-to-head against the San Antonio Spurs, though, he's failed to hit the over in his last 2 games straight up, but he's hit it in 2 of his last 3 home games. I personally like Josh Giddey to go over, let's say, 11.5 points. I'd throw that one up on the big board. Josh Giddey over 11.5 points. That's a player prop bet that really stands out to me. Let's see if there's another one that we want to keep our eye on. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's got a phenomenal matchup tonight. Head-to-head against the Spurs. He's gone over 27.5 points in 4 straight games against the Spurs. No reason for me to think that doesn't remain the case. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And if I could, over 26.5 points. Play it maybe a little safe. Over 24.5 if you want to play it really safe and make it the leg of a parlay. Those are 2 players on the Thunder side that I like from a point total perspective. How about Chet Holmgren when it comes to points? He has had some tough matchups against the Spurs in terms of point total. He's done well against the Spurs in his last 2 games in terms of point total. Over in his last 2 games. But how about Victor Wembanyama? When Wembanyama has gone up against Chet, is Wemby playing tonight? It looks like he is. I'm just not seeing him up on the board yet. Yeah, I don't see Victor Wembanyama. Interesting. I would take Victor if I could. He plays very well against Chet Holmgren. There's a budding rivalry there. So anyways, a couple of those. Josh Giddey, though, over on point total. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over on point total. I like both of those. Wemby is out. Too bad. I didn't see him on the injury report, but yeah, Brett's letting us know he's out. Sitting him for rest. Too bad. Too bad. Would have enjoyed that. Why is this not working right now? Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Make sure you guys hit the follow button. Make sure you guys are following us. That way you never miss any of our content, any of our shows. We're going to try to be live as frequently as we can around 4:30, 5 o'clock every day. Brett, Thunder minus 16 without Victor Wembanyama in the lineup. Yeah, 16.5. Wow, that is just a ridiculous spread. Let's take a quick look at it, though, for everyone who's curious about it. Thunder, when they have a line that is greater than minus 16, negative 16, they have won and they've covered both of those games. So twice this year, they've had a spread of at least 16.5 or 16 points. And they've covered and won both times. So actually, Brett, I actually kind of do like the Thunder to cover tonight. Which NHL games will you prefer going on the underside of things? Let's jump on over to the NHL. 3 games tonight. Blackhawks and Blues. The under's getting a bit more love from the public. Golden Knights and Oilers, the over's getting more love. Coyotes and Canucks, we already talked, we like the over. So if there's any game tonight in which I like the under, I would go with the Blackhawks and the Blues. Right now it's at 5.5. If I could, I'd take under 6. If it reaches 6, it'd be a push. But Blackhawks, Blues, under 6. That would be the only game I'd go under. Appreciate you guys hitting us up, joining the show. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. And again, if anyone wants to play some fantasy baseball right now, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram if any of you guys want to participate. Here's how it goes. Rival Fantasy allows me to create a fantasy baseball league in which I'm able to draft just the players that I need for tonight. So here's an example. You guys, I want to set up the pre-draft. So all I need for this is 2 infielders, 2 outfielders, a utility man, and a pitcher. Whoever joins the league, we go back and forth drafting. Once we fill up each spot, that's it. That's all you got to do. We're each putting up $3. Whoever wins gets the cash. So if you guys want to compete against me in a fantasy baseball challenge tonight, going head-to-head, a best ball rival fantasy challenge, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports, DM me on Instagram. Can you go over your NBA picks? Right now, the NBA picks we have on the board are Nuggets on the money line, Timberwolves to cover, though, plus 8.5. I do like the Thunder. Thunder to cover. I'd take it at, like, let's say plus 15. Just playing it safe. Thunder at minus 15. Thunder to cover a 15-point spread. Really quick, I just kind of curious about this. How have the Spurs done so far this year when they've been an underdog of 15 points or more? They've lost both times. They have covered both times, so that's kind of interesting. But no Wembanyama tonight. That said, love the Thunder on the money line. Thunder on the money line is a no-brainer for me tonight, but I do like the Thunder to also cover the 15-point spread. We haven't actually gone into too many of the NBA games. If you guys do want me to look at a specific game, DM me, let me know, hit me up, ask your question. We'll go through any games you guys care about. John, of course, Blues, they on a streak. Blackhawks suck this year. Boy, do they ever. John, I'd absolutely go with the Blues on that one. El Pinche, listen to your boy, John. Hope you guys are loving the show. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you guys never miss a time when we are live. We've been live for just about 50 minutes, everybody, so we don't have too much of the show remaining. Again, make sure you follow, make sure you're with us. And again, we've got this Rival Fantasy Best Ball League ready to go. DM me on Instagram. I'll share the link with you guys if any of you guys want to participate. So get in on it now. Uncle Doug, Mitchell 30? Huh? Question mark? JT is asking about the Yankees. What do I think for a run total for the New York Yankees tonight? If I had to go in any direction for the Yanks, I'd probably say over 4.5 runs. I think they get to at least 5, if not 6. So I'd go over 4.5 runs for the Yankees. Over 4.5 runs for the Yankees there. JT 15. Over 4.5. Jerome, Miami Heat against the Dallas Mavericks. Let's take a look at this game. How is the public betting it? Right now, 80% of the money is on the Mavericks to win. 95% of the money is on the Mavericks to cover the spread. By the way, Brett, yes, we did. We did bet UConn. That said, guys, the Mavericks are getting a lot of the love tonight. Mavericks have actually been one of the best against the spread teams in all of sports over the last few months. So keep your eye on the Mavericks. Mavericks are an away dog. Are they an away dog for this one? No, they're an away favorite. Forgive me. Mavericks as an away favorite so far this year, 19-4 straight up. You heard me correct on that. 19-4 straight up. They've also gone 18-5 against the spread. Again, a phenomenal team against the spread when they are on the road. Let's take a look at when they have an opponent who's got an above 500 winning percentage. How have they done as an away favorite? It's only happened 8 times this year. Mavericks have gone 6-2 straight up, 6-2 against the spread. The under's also gone 6-2. So, what would I take for this game? Really quick, I want to look at the injury report just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Josh Green, game time decision. Maxi Kleber, game time decision. Duncan Robinson is out. Terry Rozier, game time decision. Personally, I like the Mavericks to win. I would take the Mavericks on the money line. I'd also take the Mavericks to cover the -2.5. I think Mavericks get there. And I would take the Mavericks, and I would take the Heat, and I would take the under. So Mavericks on the money line. Mavericks on the spread with 2.5. Right now it's at 2. I'd take it at 2.5 actually. And finally, I would take the under. It's at 216.5. It opened at 219.5. I kind of like it around that 220 spot. So I would go under 220.5 for that game as well. That's Mavericks Heat under 220.5. Shay is asking if there are any games I like a run in the first inning. Marlins, Yankees. Marlins and Yankees. I like that for a run in the first inning. Marlins, Yankees. Yes to a run in the first inning on that one. Do like that. Another game where I like a run in the first inning is going to be, let's see. That's actually the only one of the later games. Obviously, I really like the Diamondbacks and Rockies run in the first inning for that one. So far, when it comes to first inning runs, Cubs, Padres, no run. Brewers, Reds, no run. Nationals, Giants, no run. But I'd also take the Yankees and Marlins, yes to a run in the first inning. B, not sure if I missed it, but do you like the Oilers over the Knights? I need one NHL for parlay. Do I like the Oilers tonight? Let's take a quick look at it in terms of how the money's coming down on it. Right now, 56% of the tickets are actually on the Golden Knights to win. I wouldn't touch this game. It feels like a trap. Really quick. Golden Knights. They are an away dog of, wow, it's about even. I wouldn't touch this game. I wouldn't touch it, B. Not a game I want to play. I feel like it's 50-50 odds. I feel like it's the ultimate toss-up. Appreciate you guys watching the show. Hope you guys are enjoying everything about it. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you never miss a chance when we're live. Blues over Blackhawks is much better, B. Blues over Blackhawks is a much better play. That's what John out there on YouTube was asking about. John, yeah, I don't like that Vegas game. I like the over. Oilers, Golden Knights, I'd go over the 6.5 for that one, but I wouldn't take a side on it, John. Don't feel great about it. Zion, Royals on the money line tonight. Very, very interesting bet. For those that don't know, Royals are hosting the Astros. Seth Lugo on the bump. Personally, I think Zion, I would take the Royals to cover the 1.5 run spread, given that they are an underdog at home. So I think you may be right, Zion. I actually think you're onto something, Royals money line. But if I had to play it a little bit safer, the fact that I can get Royals plus 1.5 runs, I would take that. El Pinche, I took Vegas. They need to win more than the Oilers. Feels like that's why a lot of people are kind of going with the Golden Knights tonight. We draft against each other. You pick 2 infielders, 2 outfielders, 1 DH, and 1 pitcher. I do the same. Whoever wins gets the pot. So if any of you guys want to do a $3 Best Ball Fantasy Baseball League, DM me right now. It's on Rival Fantasy. It'll honestly take about 2 minutes of your time, and it's a fun way for us to compete against each other off the air. So DM me on Instagram if any of you guys want to compete in the Rival Fantasy Best Ball Fantasy Baseball League tonight. It's a 1-day league, so it's just for tonight's games. Make sure you hit me up, guys. Want to get that league in tonight. If you have additional questions, we have just a few minutes left of the show. I will be live again tomorrow at 4:30. So for those that love the show tonight, want to do it again tomorrow, 4:30. I promise you guys will be better about being consistently live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. So DM me on Instagram if you want my picks every day. Hit the follow button no matter the platform you're watching on. That way you never miss a show. Again, for the loyals out there, what time are we going to be live tomorrow? For those who are paying attention, what time are we going to be live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick? Write it in the comment section. What time is it, everybody? Say it with me. We will be live at 4:30 tomorrow. 4:30 tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. So John, El Pinche, Michael, you got it. We will be live at 4:30 tomorrow, Chase. That's right. So make sure that you guys hit that follow button. Jay Frosty, give me a lock for tonight. You guys know I hate the idea of a lock. There's no such thing as a lock in sports. That said, if I did have a favorite bet of the night, I don't see the Rangers losing 2 games in a row to the Oakland Athletics. I just don't see it happening. I would say the Rangers money line is probably my favorite bet of the night. So Jay Frosty, if I had one bet tonight that I had more confidence in than everything else, I would probably say Rangers on the money line. That said, I thought the Dodgers were going to beat the Twins today. Missed on that one, but I do like the Rangers on the money line. Rangers on the money line. Zion, Yankees on the run line. I actually don't hate it. I could see the I could see the Yankees winning by more than 1 run, but to play it safe, I think Yankees on the money line and maybe parlaying it with some things. Are you going to put your picks on IG today? Not today, I will tomorrow. Not today, I will tomorrow, Vincent. Appreciate you guys who subscribe like Vincent. We will do some subscriber-only shows starting this week. We will do a subscriber-only show on Friday. Subscriber-only show on Friday. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Of course, we will also be doing a lot of fantasy football work, because actually, we're getting close to the NFL draft. For those that don't know, we will do a fantasy football show immediately after the draft. We will do some mock drafts as well. We will do a show actually during the first round of the NFL draft. So if any of you guys are looking for a second screen experience, I will be live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick the night of the first round of the NFL draft, reacting along with you guys, talking to you guys as the picks come down. So make sure you set your calendars. The NFL draft is about 3 weeks away, believe it or not, 2 weeks away. So we're getting pretty close to it. Make sure you schedule it. Best 2-player prop bets that you like. I really like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander over 20. He might get pulled. I like Russell Westbrook over 18.5 points. I like Dame Lillard over 27.5 points. Brett, what do you think of this? Suns money line, check. Magic money line, I think so. Mavs money line and Thunder spread. I think that's a good play, Brett. Magic on the money line's the only one I'm a little bit nervous about. No Giannis makes me like it more, but that's a desperate Bucks team, so I'm a little bit nervous about it, just a little bit. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. We still have this Rival Fantasy Best Ball League open and ready to go. DM me on Instagram. If you're a regular, if you're a noob, doesn't matter. If any of you guys want to get on this Rival Fantasy Baseball League tonight, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports, DM me on Instagram tonight. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys have really enjoyed the show. I just love talking sports with you guys as often as I do. We will be live at what time tomorrow, everybody? 4:30 Eastern time tomorrow. That's 4:30 Thursday on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. So make sure you guys join us every single day. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. And if you ever want more questions, more comments, DM me on Instagram and hit me up there. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Can't wait to talk again tomorrow. Hope you guys stay healthy. Hope you stay safe. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody. Goodbye.